today we are gathered... Okay, I had enough. So today we are gathered with this really terrible painting I've done in 2019. And I'm gonna redo this. And yes, I did go into the painting without explaining a single thing because I am too iconic for this world. So the main problem for me was the canvas is around 3 years old, and I've done a lot of paintings on this as well, and I had to make a balance. So yeah, to balance it out, I put on a Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse book underneath it. No hate to Percy Jackson, it's my favorite book series ever. And miraculously, the canvas didn't leak. I am now ready to paint, and I don't know if I would regret this or not, but let's see what happens. Okay. I was hoping for a Bob Ross kind of theme, so I started in with the horizon. And whenever I paint horizons, I usually make the middle yellowish kind of, and then I add on to make it finally red or blue. So yeah, I have no idea what else to say, so enjoy this time lapse. And yeah, that was me checking if my book was stained or not, and luckily it wasn't. But if you are doing this, I think you should put like wood underneath it unless you want your book to be stained, because I've had some situations where my canvas has leaked onto the floor, so always be careful of what you put underneath your canvas before painting. Yeah, so next I moved on with the bluish part. Even though it looks kind of purple, I mean, it still looks good. And I used a wet paintbrush to blend this all out because my hand could never. Ignore how weird my hand looks. I know, it's weird. And yes, this painting is made of oil pastels and watercolor because we're still in lockdown and we cannot go outside to buy acrylics or oil paints. You can lather on as many colors as you like. I just went with the plain colors that I'm using and create a masterpiece, or not. Right above now, I was done with the horizon and I was moving on to the water, and that is me, my dumb self, pouring in paint right onto the canvas. That took me so long to say it. So yeah, my main objective was covering up that green gloopy part of the canvas and hopefully making it better. And yes, my dumb self forgot to film for 10 minutes straight, but I just went on with the ocean lake thing. But if you do have no patience like I did, it still is a pretty good thing to mix it in while it's wet because it actually blends in well. After forgetting to film for 20 minutes straight, I just did a bit of blues on the sides that have dried up, and I kept on going in with this horizon and also the sea. Little tip before painting your mountains, I always map out where I want my mountains to be with either a paintbrush or a pencil, and this is always a good resource other than just slabbing on the paint. So there is me mapping out my mountains and how I want them to look like. You can always go over them with paint, obviously, if you mess up or if you don't want mountains to be there, but I always like this method. And I always like to add in the black from one side to make it look more 3D-ish and realistic. You can use a palette knife for this part, but because I didn't have one, I just used my paintbrush and wetted it with a bit of water, and I just went straight down the mountain. For this part, I used one of my grey oil pastels to make the mountains look more realistic by making one side completely white. Of course, these are happy little bushes, as the famous Bob Ross would say. So the last part is to add in whatever details you want. I'm not going to voice over this part because I really don't know what to say. But enjoy! The lighting is looking a bit better here, but now I've done a few trees and I'm gonna work on the clouds and also a bit on the ocean because that's looking crusty. So let's just move right in. Also, my oil pastels are looking dead. I'm really tempted to watch Shrek right now. There's an ant that's literally climbing a mountain right now. Oh no, it's flying.